Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick video on how I use my Hobonichi Weeks planner as a budgeting planner. And I'm really sorry about the loud howling sounds in the background. There is a winter snowstorm happening here in the East Coast, so bear with me. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Obviously you can use any planner for this, but I personally feel like the Hobonichi Weeks is perfect as a budget planner. It's just, the layout is just really perfect and really ideal as like a minimal, easy financial budgeting planner. And this is definitely not going to be very pretty for you guys, but hopefully it gives you an idea of how to set up. One of the first spreads you'll see here is like the 2 or 3 year overview. I think this is really cool because it gives you an idea of like where your goals are at, or like to set up goals. So I haven't put anything in here yet, but for example, if you have debt and you're trying to pay off debt, or you're trying to buy a house, or whatever your financial goal is, you can take a marker or a highlighter and you can start tallying or marking out the days of each year of when you have paid something off, or if you've reached a goal for that year, or whatever the case may be. And if you look at it as an overview, it kind of gives you a reminder of like where you're at. I think this is kind of a cool feature to use as like a debt tracker or a financial goals tracker for something really big. Another idea you could do is also highlight days where you haven't spent money, or that you have spent money. And that way it also shows you like how many times in a year you're really spending in a day. I think that's really a good way to kind of shock your brain to that you're spending like way too much money. So there's different ways to go about that, but I really like this spread for that. And then on the next page here, track spending days. Again, these are not filled out for me even, but I will start filling it out. I'm only on like week 3, so yeah. But basically for track spending days, it's like the same thing, just a little bit more detailed, because you can put down the price. So this is just like another quick overview of each month and how much you're spending. So you can put down like, $80 on the, on January 3rd, $40 on the 6th, and so on and so on. I do think that this is like meant for like a spending tracker. But obviously you can use it for whatever else, because like these columns are just so small, but they're just enough for a number. So this is even like a better detailed view from this. This is kind of an overall view, but this can be a really good detailed view of each month. And you have a little space here for each month to also write in what exactly, like a little bit more details if you want, or like things that you had like goals in mind, and if you reach those goals, and etc. So this page is really great for that. And then it goes into the monthly overview, like the whole month overview. This is great too. So I think in order to not be redundant though, since you're writing numbers, in the other page, but this just kind of gives you a better, like for me, this is better for like slightly more detail. Like I spent $133 that day, but where? At the mall, whatever, etc., etc. So that's what you can do here. And I think this page will be pretty important too, just to put down future spending. So for example, here, this is the perfect place to also write down your monthly expenses. So let's say, number 1 is to write down your rent. And then, let's say you have a car payment on the 10th, write down your car payment. And that's kind of how I think each month can be used, because December is going to be a little bit more convoluted because I just have so many expenses going on. I'm going to LA this week, and I'm gonna be there for the next 2 weeks until Christmas. So there's gonna be lots of spending days here. That's like a good way to write out the months that aren't like as extravagant as a holiday month, but you can write down your rent payment, your car payments, your credit card payments. And then down here is a great way to track like your credit cards and like how much you've paid down. I think that's like a good way to go about this. I know that there isn't a lot out on here yet again, so if it's more helpful to kind of fill this out with you guys. You know, maybe you're interested in a video where I'm filling things out and we can do it together. I would love to upload that video. So these are all months. And then it goes into the normal hobonichi weekly spread, which looks like this. So as you can see, as like on initial look, this is like pretty ugly. So this is like very in like contrast. Let me show you guys how I use my actual weekly planner. Here is my week, and it's pretty, I mean, it's not like crazy good, but like, you know, this is more like very pretty and set up elaborately decorated, whereas this planner is like quite ugly. But I think this works better for me because I already have a planner I'm using to write in my like normal stuff, so this one helps me write in just the financial stuff. So this has been working really well so far, and for me, I use it in conjunction with a cash stuffing folder. I have a whole separate video plan to talk about cash stuffing because I use a cashless cash stuffing method. So I will talk about that in a completely different video because it's like I don't even want to start. I feel like this is the only real like spread that I can kind of share with you guys. And this is my new week, and this is last week, so I can kind of give you an idea. Really simple. It's so super simple for me. I write in what I spent on that day, and what I spent it on. It can be generic. I just wrote Amazon, but if you want to go further into it, I would write in like more details if you have room. But there could be multiple spendings that day, so you may not have the room to write on like every single little detail, and that's where this space comes in. I just keep it real simple. 60 at Amazon, 120 at the Korean market, $54 at Amazon here. This is like just a note for me. I didn't spend anything this day, but this is for my cash stuffing fund. I spent at Naya Papery, and then $60 at DoorDash, $80 at Amazon. This was like a bunch of Christmas things. So here I did try to write out what exactly I was spending on, but it's not as detailed. And then at the end, for me, my week ends on a Sunday. I like that in the hobonichi weeks, it's the Sundays are always in red, so it gives me an idea that it's the end of the week, and then like this is how much I've spent. That's just like a really simple overview here. Every time that you spend money, you're gonna want to write it down. And whether it's at the end of the day, whether it's at the end of the week, it doesn't really matter. But for me, I do it the day that I spend the money. Otherwise, I will totally forget. This section is just really for me to keep account of like how much I'm using or how much I'm putting into my sinking funds. You can kind of use this sheet however you like. I think it's great to have just this blank page for anything extra that you need to write down, any extra detail. At the beginning, at my first paycheck of the month, I tend to pay off all my credit card, not my balance, because I still have a balance on some of my high balance cards, but those are like debts that I want to work on paying down. So yeah, and then here I'm gonna write my weekly total here. I just wrote this down because I want to see how much I have left over for any cash stuffing. I don't think I'm gonna have very much because of all the expenses of flying to LA. Just gonna write this down. This is something I will take with me. It's also very portable, very easy to travel with, so that's also why I like having this. Whether you're using the regular hobonichi weeks or the hobonichi weeks mega, they do all have like a little note section in the back. So this is also a great place to track your credit card and your loan payments. I think that this is kind of like where I am going to be tracking all my credit card payments, all of my loan payments, balances, interest rates, all of that information. I think it'll be great to set up here. So I know this was like very quick overview, but hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of how to start and where to start. You obviously don't need to you don't need to have like an extra cover or anything like that, but the reason I like having this leather cover is because it makes me feel like I'm holding a wallet, and it kind of gives me this weird like psychological effect of like this is like a money thing. So that's kind of why like having a cover is just, as I move forward with this, I want to be able to use it as more of like a wallet system, sort of, for any like tax receipts I'll probably put in here, or tax purpose write-offs and stuff like that. And then coupons or you know, just like reminder notes you can all like kind of put in here. This is a very minimal look, at how I set it up. And yeah, hopefully this helps and gives you an idea. And I'd love to hear if you guys do use a planner as like a financial planner. I do think it's important to differentiate a budget slash financial planner from your daily life planner, because daily life planner, you can just write like everything and anything, and it doesn't really help track your budget as nicely. So I definitely do like having an isolated planner for it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.